Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist.
Then I gotta do these people.
There you go, man. Alright. What's up, man?
What's up?
Gavin, Stephen Michael James, welcome. This is episode 50 of the Comedy Simp podcast.
The big 5-0 anniversary. It's an honor to be here, man.
Dude, thank you very much. Where can people find you online? Where is it?
You guys can find me on Instagram at gavi.goo.
Gavi.goo
Yeah.
and then gavi.goof, correct?
Yeah, that's my like stand-up clips and everything.
Look at this guy, multitasking, hitting different algorithms on the Instagram.
Oh,
Insane.
yeah, I'm definitely not reaching the algorithms at all, but I'm just I wanted to have a separate account because I have a lot of like Mormon friends from like Utah and stuff that I kind of don't want to expose them to some of like the jokes that I've been doing and stuff. So
dude, it's thanks for doing this. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Man.
I think
this should be fun.
How long? I've known you since probably the beginning of 2024. You work for TCC, correct?
Yeah, I work at the smaller club. I'm the server there. And,
Six and Proctor. So I always tell the infamous story. First time I was at Six and Proctor. First of all, is this weird to be doing this right now on stage with all these people? We're just here talking on this podcast.
Right now it's just me and you, my man.
Okay,
it's just
good.
me and you.
Because if you're going to make it in this business, my boy, we
gotta
got to
be
be used to the
comfortable around
publicity. We got to get used to the eyes on us at all times.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We're just putting ourselves out there. We're gonna hit that algorithm no matter what. Oh, I think we got another guest joining us. Sounds like I see.
Oh shit.
Is this Godzilla versus Kong the sequel? Holy cow!
Yeah, it does feel.
crap.
It feels like one of those
Ladies
old
and
Tomo.
gentlemen, Nick Cody, the producer of Tapped Out Comedy. You can follow him at Nick R. Cody. I'm not going to say the joke, but you guys know the joke. Do you know the joke?
No, but why do you have to put the hard R in the middle there, bro?
Yeah.
Okay.
No jokes there for you guys.
This is we've never talked about this, so let's really talk about it. Nick Cody is the name of actually a well-known comedian in Australia.
Oh, really?
So well known that I've in fact heard him mentioned in like by Ari Shaffir and Tony
nice.
Hinchcliffe, people like that. And so Nick is the American Nick Cody, but I don't know, man. We're still trying to figure out Nick's branding. How can we make him stand out? Nick, as far as I'm concerned, is the original Nick Cody because he was he was an Oregon Duck, champion player. Rose. This guy was a Hall of Famer for the Oregon Ducks.
Really?
Rose Bowl champion, correct?
Rose Bowl champion and a part of a Hall of Fame
Nick,
inducting class.
Can you just quickly give a rundown of all your rings and what they mean?
Oh, dude. I don't know because I should have more. Technically, my red shirt year, we went to the Holiday Bowl, but that ring was a big whale, and I was like, it looked really bad. And they gave you the option to get a $300 Best Buy gift certificate instead. And even then, I still did pretty well because I graduated and I had enough rings to, when I go back to Oregon games now, I have every one of my actual fingers except my thumbs covered.
He looks like a gangster with his hand.
I was lucky. I got to go there 2009 through 2012. We went to BCS Bowls every year. So it was either went to the Rose Bowl twice and then the Fiesta Bowl technically once for the national championship and once for the Fiesta.
So you earned your name, Nick Cody.
Yeah, he's.
I think
what's funny about that, and I only knew about Australian comedian Nick Cody because he followed me when I was in college, and he was already on the comedian career path. I'm starting a little bit later, but we're doing awesome. Thank you. What an honor, guys.
Yes.
What an honor.
We got a fan.
I was a little too serious with
We
these.
have a fan. Nick, I'm really worried about this audience here. We have a lot of families in the tonight. Some
Well,
of my
they can't.
references aren't necessarily family friendly, but
Yeah, well, you're gonna set the tone, which is a lot what Rob Conroy did, like we talked about in the last episode I was on. So as long as you don't pull Rob Conroy,
Yeah.
I think as long as you don't let anyone in the audience onto the stage. Actually, unless you like don't have anything clean, and then you might just want one of the children to do your 10 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely wasn't going to do 15, but man, I just like, I really got to start coming up with better, more family-friendly material if I'm going to be performing for crowds like this. But you know,
Well, you have kids and stuff, right?
First of all, yes, I do have a kid, and we're going to talk about, dude, I really want to know about you and your stuff, but before we get to it, this is Peace of Mind Brewery. How many times, we've done Peace of Mind, we've done Tapped Out Brewing, Tapped Out Comedy.
So, the Tapped Out Comedy Show initially started at Vessel Tap
Yes.
House, just up the street here a couple blocks, which is now defunct, and now an empty building, which somebody, if you would like to invest in a comedy club to buy up, I mean,
Lynnwood
it's not
Comedy.
it's not worth the investment, but if you want to throw yourself at it because you want to be more known on the comedy scene, it's a good flex. I suggest it.
Yeah.
But it was a great room for 3 of the first Tapped Out shows, and then we moved to Shanghai for a little bit, which was, for those of you that know the Shanghai room, not an ideal venue for a
You
show
ever been
that
to
you want to
Shanghai?
produce.
I've never been there
Oh,
yet
yeah,
before.
yeah.
You
I've
lucky.
heard a lot of
Well, I
horror
can't wait for you to
stories,
pop your Shanghai cherry, because
Yeah.
it's going to be it's going to be an interesting experience. So we produced one show there, and we realized,
It's the Jai Tai for Gen Zs is what I call it.
wow, that's a great scheme.
That's a deep
I
cut
just want to
for
say
you
though,
viewers out there.
it seems like Casey Judson wants to hop in here and give the mic for a
Oh,
second.
he wants to have a drink of his beer.
All right, well, here, get it.
By the way, the reason I mentioned Peace of Mind is that I have a beer sampler here, and throughout the episode, I'm going to be sampling some of Peace of Mind Brewing's wonderful brew here. And so the first one, you like beer, man?
the herpes.
Being a Mormon,
I've
you're
never
probably not a beer guy. Didn't grow up with it.
No, yeah. I think
this-
if you like beer, you probably started drinking when you were like 12 or something.
I'm trying to be more and more like Casey McLean every day, and I know he likes
Oh, yeah.
beer, so
And a little bit of history on here, guys. This is since I've lived in Lynnwood so long, and this will be my last month here. We're actually in what used to be a barbecue restaurant. One of the many places I maintain my fatness at. They used to have a nice barbecue sundae right here. It was just a big glass like this big.
Barbecue
The bottom,
sundae?
It was filled with mashed potatoes at the bottom.
Whoa.
Whatever meat choices you wanted, then gravy all over
that
the
sounds
top
like
of
a
it.
southern thing, man. I've never had anything
you
even
basically
close to
get the
that.
same thing in a famous bowl at KFC, but just like actually made at home.
I'm
And
not
you
gonna
can
lie,
get prime
I'm a
rib
little
in there.
hard right now. Now that you're
But anyway,
I can see. Whoa, hey.
Back when this first got turned into a brewery, I was like, especially with this stage right here, I realized, man, what a waste for it just to be musicians performing here. And thankfully, the owners, father and son combo, perfect Father's Day weekend tribute to locally owned brewing guys. If you're here off 99, or if you're on Aurora and you're like, I'd like to get out of here, drive north, get up to Peace of Mind Brewing in Lynnwood, and Brandon and Jordan, man, they are.
It's a nice place, man. It's a nice size venue. And we've been here, man. We've had shows where there's like 40, 50 people in here.
We've had about 20 tapped out shows now.
Yeah.
Here.
Anyways, by the way, this is Xenowort Black Ale, and it's pretty good, man. This is the first one of the 4. And if you guys like black, shout out to all my black comedians out there. This is for you guys.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sticking to the Wild Wild West IPA because it's going to be a long night, and I'm going to need my best Will Smith energy to avoid slapping the shit out
Quick.
of you on stage. Or
Favorite
maybe.
black comic in Tacoma? Go.
There's a lot, but I gotta say, I love Bo Blast so much
Bo
just
Blast,
because of
all right.
everything that he's done for the whole community. He has his own show on Tuesday that he always has popping and always has the best crowd.
Hell yeah, man.
Always sells tickets, and he gives a path for up and coming comedians to
Anybody that can
work
give
on their
Casey
shit.
Judson a path is good in my book.
Yeah.
Nate
Well,
Jackson,
Casey
dude,
Judson's
shout out
actually
to
my
Nate Jackson for
second
getting an event
favorite.
because we were
Yeah.
all scared there for a bit. So got to give Nate Jackson a shout out.
And my
Yeah.
first one that comes to mind, Mr. Mookie.
Oh,
Hell
he's
yeah.
so fucking funny.
I don't know if you know Mr. Mookie,
I do.
man, but he is, that guy. And he also said that he liked my stuff, and that made me feel all
Of
warm and
course.
fuzzy on the
that's-
inside.
If you
Yeah.
guys really want to separate yourself, this is why we call him the comedy simp.
Comedy
guys.
simp, baby.
He will cream his pants if you just tell him at least a tag for his joke. You don't even have to compliment the guy. If you witnessed him enough to give him a tag, I swear to God, this guy. You've heard,
Yeah.
You always give me so many props on here, and then I meet people in real life. They're like, I heard about you on Stephen Michael James. And then they see my set, and they're like, I expected a lot better.
Oh man. Well, it's starting to go. I'm starting to figure out the algorithm a little bit, man. I'm getting
lit.
certain views, certain thumbnails
this
that catch people's attention. But I was saying earlier, man, you work for TCC, Six and
Yeah.
Proctor. I always tell the story. The first time I went there, I saw a comic throw water on somebody in the
No
audience.
shot,
That
okay.
was the very first time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And but dude, that such a fun room, man. I
Yeah.
think that room is once that room was built, like I feel like the comedy scene just got like a hot injection of semen in it, like
Yeah.
because all
yeah.
these other comics started coming to town, comics that couldn't necessarily fill up the big one.
Yeah.
Local guys, people we know, James Fitz, Logan, Maceo, all these guys are like hosting for people. Have you done any, hosting for some names coming through town?
Yeah, for sure. I got to host for first ever guy I hosted for was his name's Ronan Hirschberg,
Ronan Hirschberg.
and it was in that 6th Ave location. Yeah,
The name sounds familiar, man.
He's
There's so
a-
many comedians out there.
he's
Have
a
you
New
heard of
York
Ronan?
comic.
I have not.
He's like part Jewish, and I think he has family out here,
Yeah.
so that's why he came. But that was my first ever hosting spot, and I was not ready for it. At all.
Yeah.
I bombed all weekend. People tell me like when I'm serving, I'll have a table be like, "Hey, I recognize you. You opened for Ronan," and if they say that to me, I just immediately
Yeah, you're like,
shrivel
"I'm
up.
so
like,
sorry."
"Oh, no, you saw that."
You give
Yeah.
them their money back.
Yeah.
But yeah, seriously.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
Actually,
like,
we're
sorry,
on
you're
the
not
2-year
fixing me.
anniversary of when I opened for, and just randomly, this guy named Anthony Rogers reached out.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Right.
it's
Guy's
pretty,
got a huge podcast on
not
Rumble.
only that, dude, I mean, he was, he's got a lot going on, but I remember, like, one of the first things I looked up about him was like, damn, he ran in St. Louis on the Republican ticket. Like, shit.
Oh, shit.
I was like,
Yeah.
how did he find me, other
Yeah.
than the long hair? But
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys look like like you could be brothers.
Yeah, and then the lineup was awesome, and I had to host, and it was like, man, what do I do when you've got a lineup with him, Adam Tiller, Michael Aguilera, and Levi Manis? And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, dude, I just want to highlight them, and like, then you
Well,
realize.
that's the host job. Is
Yeah.
you just
Well,
get
and-
it popping, and then
Yeah.
The biggest bummer
move it
for
over
me
to
is
them.
I'd written a bunch of jokes about performing at El Corazon for the first
Yeah.
time, because that's what it was booked as.
So,
But
dude,
we're at
El
the-
Corazon is like a music venue in Seattle.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
where bands like hardcore bands.
Yeah.
I've seen punk bands play there.
And
they had
even
a
he was
comedy show
advertising.
there.
Even he was advertising. Anthony
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, dude, I got to perform where Nirvana performed." Well, the Funhouse is a sidebar, independent room with a corner. That I've seen such miserable bands as 96 Bitter Beings, Once Upon a Time, but it's not like what I was
it's
expecting
the same
at
building,
all.
though, so it counts, bro.
It
Put
counts,
it on your fucking
it
resume,
counts,
dude.
But the problem with the building is El Corazon. For anyone that's been there, concert goers in Seattle, you all know the most frustrating thing. If you're going to see a performer there, you're going, why is there a pillar on the middle of the stage?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
right
yeah?
where the lead singer usually is. So lead singer's like slightly stage left, and there's this big ass pillar there. So I'd literally written jokes about this pillar there and was going to perform physical comedy stripper moves on this pillar that I'd fantasized about for so long. And then I realized we're in the Funhouse. There's no pillar.
Yeah.
Half my material's gone.
Yeah.
Shit.
You can't write jokes based on the venue you're gonna be
No,
at. Because
no.
as
Gotta
we
do it
learn-
the day of.
Dude, as we know, man, comedy shows get canceled all the time.
Yeah.
Any other guys that you open up for, kind of bigger names?
Yeah, I got to open for Harland Williams. That
Dude,
was one of my favorite fucking
insane,
things, dude.
man. I was just we
was
just were
insane.
talking about him. So I got
boy
a
there.
kid. She's 7. When she was like 2 years old, we used to watch this show on Disney called Puppy Dog Pals.
Oh, yeah?
And he created the show.
Yeah.
No, it's
And
animated, right?
yeah, it's a cartoon, and he's the voice of the
Yeah.
guy. So
I
like,
gotta check it out.
yeah,
That
do
sounds
Mike,
cool.
get your mic closer to your mouth.
Yeah.
You know,
This mic smells. No, I'm kidding.
we got other windscreens, man. We've had Macy Yo use this mic. We've had Rob
down for
Conroy.
COVID. Then.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, Rob Conroy would be a great voice on a children's show.
Yeah.
You just
But
need
yeah.
a lot of editing.
But yeah, dude, like I can appreciate like he put in stuff in the cartoon. It all started with like Shrek and stuff.
Well,
like
there's the puppy dog
Yeah, it's
pal
on
right
top
there,
there.
dude. Yeah.
that's our audience there.
Making
you know?
a guest
We're
appearance.
advertising to dogs now.
This actually, dude, this is the most amount of people I think you've had listening to your podcast at one time.
I know, right? This is a lot. Somebody bring up the live chat right now. I want to hear what everybody's saying. Like, who are these white boys on stage right
It's
now?
just
you know?
Casey Judson in there telling
Yeah.
you what a good job you're doing, man.
But yeah, dude, Puppy Dog Pals, like, it was a cartoon for kids, but he snuck in all these jokes for adults. And, like, when you hear it in Harland Williams' voice, did you get a chance to kind of talk to him or anything like that? Like,
Yeah, just like little green room chats. I was, asking
Please
him
tell
for
me he
a
had
lot
a
of,
cute
like,
nickname for you.
okay.
Because I feel like he would come up with a cute nickname. He'd be like, hey, Blueberry.
can I? And,
No,
and,
he didn't have a cute nickname for me, but
Not yet.
So it was me and Andrew Rivers. I was
Oh,
hosting.
awesome. Hell yeah.
Rivers was featuring.
Nice.
And Rivers has a long ass hair.
yeah.
And when Harlan got up, each time he would be like, "Give it up for my opener, my 2 kids. One of them's a girl. You figure it out." Yeah.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, no, he's just a super chill guy, down to earth. Yeah, and I just talked a lot about just like life and dealing with like the pressures of things going on and
Now
just
you're-
like his journey and stuff
Yeah.
and just how he got where he is,
And he,
And
yeah,
I'm just
it seemed-
intrigued.
yeah.
He's my favorite living comic, so
I
it
would
was just
ima- yeah,
insane
that's
to
dope.
be able to do
I would
that.
imagine that outside of the cameras and stuff, he's actually pretty normal. When the
Yeah.
cameras are on, the podcast and stuff, he does some wild things. Now you're
He's still
pretty
goofy, but
Yeah.
he's still like
Yeah.
pretty normal.
Canadian.
I think he's one of the only consistent like regulars that will go on Joe Rogan. I'll watch a whole thing just
Yeah.
because Joe Rogan will miss the joke so many times, and you're like, oh yeah, Harlan's fucking
Yeah.
with him now.
Speaking of Joe, this is not your average Joe coffee IPA. I give it a 3 out of 5. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
that's
you're out
classy.
of 5. That's
Dude,
interesting.
you're quite a bit younger than us.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 40 this year.
Okay.
Nick's in his
Hell yeah.
30s. How old? You're in your early 20s, right?
Yeah, 23. So,
20, fucking great age. Now,
God, this almost feels illegal being this close on the couch
Yeah.
with you.
I'm just
I'm
wondering.
pretty sure you're a couple years away from me being on a restraining order or something.
Yeah.
Hey, just saying 23 is a third of the way to a 69. So you do the math.
Dude.
I didn't go to school for math. Everybody knows that.
That's a great one.
Yeah, you went to school on a scholarship for hockey or something, huh?
Yeah, all that hockey in Oregon, bro.
I do have a question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
You said you could either get a ring or a $300 Best Buy
Yeah,
gift card.
my red shirt year.
What would be your if you had a $300 gift card to Best Buy right now? You had to spend it tonight. What are you getting?
I'm probably putting
Switch
that
2?
down towards the Switch 2.
Switch
and
2,
and that's
alright.
impulsive, like, and it's an impulsive question. Honestly, though, like right now, moving, I would just invest it.
Yeah.
Because right now, $300 at
Invest
Best Buy is like, next round
Yeah.
of voting, that's going to be $600. So
That's so funny that you said you're gonna invest a Best Buy gift card, bro. You're like gonna put a down payment
Well,
on a
dude,
house.
well,
You're like,
and- well,
here's
I'm-
20 grand and a Best Buy gift card.
it's also the option. I mean, the ring. The ring will be worth more. You know.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know what Joston's stock is like right now.
Do they sell rings at Best Buy? Just like pot rings, or
I think the Geek Squad takes crypto now.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you got crypto and into a bull ring,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Well, I don't want to give anybody
Yeah.
any idea of shit. So college sports is already ruined from what I understand. The worst part is they're paying people out now for the next 20 years, and the cutoff is 2016, so I'm like 4 years late to the party.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I could be getting paid for my name, image, and likeness, and now everybody just has to overlook my ugly, bad, cheap photos
Now,
in comedy posters.
Nick was in a video game though, right?
Several the NCAA games
yeah?
before
Yeah.
they're gone.
Well, for
Oh,
what
shit.
system?
yeah.
PS3.
Yeah,
is that
PS3
era?
and Xbox 360 were the
Nice.
last
Goddamn.
ones.
That was the golden era, man. Before things went bad, right?
For hockey, right?
Yeah. Those, there's the Mighty Ducks. He played-
College hockey would be interesting.
Emilio Estevez.
If they made a game for it, it would be like the most revenue those kids get in unless you're Ohio State or Michigan, there's a couple Frozen Four regulars, but there's not a lot of schools getting paid to do hockey. And then there's definitely no video game, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's playing a hockey video game, anyways, right?
Oh, dude, that hockey
shit's
video
so
games used to be
fun,
the
dude.
best.
Well,
what
I used
the
to play
hell?
ones for Sega way before you were born.
No, the EA Sports ones
Yeah.
were good for a bit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I had to quit playing. They're too addicted, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you about your age was because I just wonder, like, if kind of you view like Harland Williams maybe the way we do, because like, dude, when we were kids, man. Dumb and Dumber. He was the Dumb and Dumber. He stole that movie. Like he was the
Yeah.
cop.
Oh, bro,
and
half
then-
baked in the shower.
And also,
You can't
Oh
go
my
to
God,
the
yeah.
shower
Oh, half
without.
baked.
He's like, I'm
Yeah.
somebody's bitch.
yeah. There's something about
the
Mary.
horse, and
you
the
know,
horse,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
dude, he was so fun. And yeah, Half Baked, dude. Before I ever smoked weed, I watched Half Baked like 50 times, man.
Yeah.
I love that
To
movie.
be honest, Steven, you still look like somebody that looks like they told everybody they
look
smoked
like-
weed and
I
never
look
had.
like an emo Jim Brewer, okay? You know, something like you know.
Yeah.
But
I could see that, yeah.
so, dude,
Jim
you talk.
Brewer fucking sipping on
I
these
know, right?
beers, dude.
BREW, bro. And by the way, we're drinking Summer something. What is this called? This is called Summer. I don't know. It feels like summer. It's a pale ale.
Wow.
Nice. Okay.
Great endorsement.
You talk a little bit about growing up, kind of being Mormon and stuff like that, and kind of out of it. We're not.
Oh, nice. I'm basically half Mormon, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I get one of my former high school teammates' planets if he dies a good Mormon. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Hell
as
yeah.
far as I understand it.
So I never want to talk bad about it because I think there's a lot of positivity. Obviously, there's a lot of bad stuff in every religion.
100%.
But what's
You know, you
some
just
of
pick
the
and choose.
what's some of the stuff that you've adopted as a non-Mormon, as an adult that maybe they would be frowned upon? You know, do you
Oh.
drink? Do you ever drink, smoke, that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
You know,
Okay, you know, like
fornicate
rules
with
that I-
ladies, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, you know, when I'm feeling
Why just
horny,
ladies?
I will, yeah. Every
Jeez.
now and again, you know, that stuff's pretty awesome. I
Yeah.
feel like I'd be missing out right now.
I mean,
The
I just feel
problem
like you're a
with
young
that-
dude. Like, I don't want to make assumptions. You know, you could be whatever way you want to go. You know, but I assume the girls, you know, is your thing.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. We like the ladies.
So I would imagine, you know, young guy. You ever get approached by girls after an open mic or after a show, maybe like any flirtatious kind of moments?
There's been a handful of those for sure. I'm very scared to talk to girls, you know, but what happens a lot is girls will just follow me on Instagram, like randomly after
Dude, that's
the show.
the new
and
way to do it,
slide
right?
in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always find it easier to talk to people in person. Like,
Yeah.
I hate texting and stuff,
Yeah.
but then I get way shy in person too.
For
so,
sure.
So
Well-
it is easier to break the ice, I guess, online. Like, cold approaching someone is always hard, but yeah, I don't know. I've had a fair share of that so far. That's been cool.
And how has your family kind of reacted to you? Kind of how you've been living your life, and maybe about the
Yeah.
comedy specifically. You know?
Yeah. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, so there's 8 of us in total.
Man.
And all of us stopped going to church except for one of my sisters, and she's still really happy with that and involved in that.
Uh-huh.
And we all love that for her. So, yeah, you know, wouldn't change that for the world. But yeah, so they don't, like, there's no ill will about me, like, not going to church or doing comedy and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody's supportive. I'm pretty sure I've performed in front of all my family members, so that's been cool.
Well, dude,
They're all
you're
about it.
you're really like, every time I bring you up, everybody just mentions that you're such a nice guy.
Oh, hell
I mean,
yeah.
I try to do the same thing, but you get it even more than me. Maybe it's because you're at the club, so you see people almost every night that you work and stuff like that.
Yeah, my face is out there a lot more, at
But,
least in that area.
you're really you're really killing it, man.
Oh,
like,
thanks, man.
we
It's
talked
been
about it on
fun.
the episode with Macy. Macy's like, Gavin's one of my favorite guys out there right now. Yeah,
I love Macy,
You know,
dude. He's the fucking boy.
What really kind of inspired you to kind of start this whole thing? Because were you into comedy like when you were living with your family and the religion stuff, or was it kind of more of an adult thing that you discovered?
I've always loved comedy, man. I remember when I was a kid, I can't remember how old I was, but I got an MP3 player.
Oh yeah, there you
And
go.
Brian Regan's "Stupid at School."
Oh,
that was the first
dude.
album that I listened to.
Mormons love Brian Regan. I can confirm.
It's clean stuff.
Well,
and it's
dude, a
just
joke,
silly
a funny
and fun.
joke is a funny joke. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter whether it's clean or dirty.
Oh, well, come on, Rob Conroy, we're here. We would show you
Yeah,
where
I
that
know,
line
right?
blurs.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to start getting set up for the Tap Down Comedy Show. You guys carry this on. I can't wait to listen to this and hear
Yeah,
more about
I'm excited
Gavin.
about it.
You guys, thanks for letting me be, the most, at least mentioned, if not the most appearances on this goddamn podcast.
And follow at Tapped Out Comedy
Yep.
Comics if you're interested in being on the show. You can hit up
Yeah.
Nick. He's Nick.
Tapped Out Comedy's been going on for
3 years,
literally,
right?
Yeah, about 3 years.
3 years. so
3
we got a
years
well-oiled
now, and this is our
machine over here.
22nd show, if you count the roast battle, which we are planning on doing again towards November. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And if you guys are looking to sign up, I am now booking for August and the rest of the year. If you haven't already filled out the sheet, guys.
on
Yeah.
Instagram,
Thanks,
you
man.
guys.
All right, thanks.
I'll try and tell Casey to get up here.
Sure,
Hell
man.
yeah, sounds good, bro.
We got the nice noise. Yeah, man, I'm starting to get a little nervous because,
Yeah.
as you can see, the stuff in red there is like drugs,
Dirtier
poly, okay. Not necessarily
not-
stuff the kids want to hear, but
yeah. But you're not like super against the grain. Like you
No,
do a
no,
good
no,
job
no.
of kind of like, softening the blow
well,
and stuff,
I'm pretty.
making it palatable.
You're familiar with kind of big name comedians, right? Bigger guys. Honestly, man, and this is like the silliest thing for me to say. I'll listen to like Bert Kreischer, and like a lot of what his life has been really mirrors my life. Like, because
really?
I had like a lot of people don't have kids until they get they successful in comedy.
Yeah.
There's very few people that are like trying to do it while they have a kid. I have a kid who's 7, 7-year-old girl. So I kind of get that, like all the struggles of having a wife and a kid, and also like just kind of his attitude of like constantly trying to just put stuff out there, advertising, and like how in comedy there's definitely like a stigma against like putting yourself out. It's kind of weird because it's like in comedy you're the center of attention, but like it's also like, hey man, why are you putting so many reels out? Why are you putting so many stories?
I think I get what you're saying.
There's like traditionalists in comedy, and then there's like kind of the new guys, like the guys that are embracing the media, social media, stuff like
era,
that.
for sure.
You're kind of a younger dude, so I imagine you grew up with like YouTube and
I
Mr.
was an
Beast or
iPad
any of that
kid
kind
and
of
all
stuff.
that kind of stuff.
Very interesting, man. Like,
My whole world is online.
What was the earliest memory you have about like using a device?
Oh, using a device?
Like a
Probably
phone
that
or
MP3 player,
Yeah.
or like, the Nintendo Wii when that came out.
there you go,
that was
yeah.
fun. And then just like, I remember, we got a couple iPads for Christmas and no one else would use them, so I would just like be on YouTube all day. Like,
Yeah.
I became an iPad kid. Like,
And was your
It's probably
family kind of?
8.
Did they kind of control what you were allowed to look at and stuff like that?
Not really. Like, because there were so many of us, there was so much going on. My dad was working all day, and my mom was she was pretty sick, so she was just like she was just resting a lot, So I got to pretty much free range,
Yeah.
But I was like pretty innocent and straight edge, so I didn't really get into any trouble or anything.
Yeah.
So
how'd
Yeah,
you
it's
end up?
pretty cool.
How'd you end up over here? Because you said you lived in Utah for a little bit. I'm guessing you didn't grow up there, but
Yeah, so-
what's the story, man? Like,
Yeah.
quickly, like, where were you born and how'd you end up here?
So I was born in Oceanside, California,
Nice.
which is one of my favorite places to
Dude.
go visit. The beach.
Hell yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Sand, waves, everything.
It's like
Good
the
eats out
You know,
there.
it's something about California that you can. I don't know how much time you spent there, but there's just some in the water, man. We have a different attitude to life because sometimes I just feel like a loner in Seattle. Like I'm like trying to be positive and happy and hype people
Yeah.
up, and then there's just this darkness and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that really doesn't surprise me that you say you were born in like Southern California, man. Because
Yeah, it's just happy out there. It's
Yeah.
cool. You know, sun shining, everything. I didn't live in Oceanside that long. We moved to this podunk town called Hemet. It's
Hemet?
it's
Feel
like
like
a
I've heard of
desert
it.
town, like really kind of poor.
what's kind of the nearest
dilapidated,
big city to Hemet?
Temecula.
Oh
You
yeah,
heard
there
of
we go,
Temecula?
dude.
Yeah.
That's like hot.
Yeah,
Very
it's
hot,
very
man.
hot all the time.
115-degree summers.
Yeah, straight up. We moved into
Although-
a place with a pool, which was clutch, but
Really hot girls come from that area too,
Oh,
man.
yeah?
I don't know what it is. It's
Oh.
just that San Fernando Valley. You know, it's all
Yeah.
the ex-actresses that never made it, so they settle down and they populate with the screenwriters that never made it, and then
Yeah. And
these
then they do
beautiful
drugs
girls.
and
Yeah,
fall in
these
love
girls
and-
like crop comes up and then they're all on OnlyFans and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you were living in this podunk
Yeah.
desert town, and you remember this as a kid, like?
Yeah, man. My dad owned a mattress shop.
Oh, okay.
Like he owner of that, and like that's how we made ends meet. And I'm trying to figure out like bits for this, but he would always hire these like homeless tweakers to work for him.
Sounds like my dad.
Yeah, dude. Really? What did he do?
He was a general contractor,
Okay.
so he would build houses, and he also like would build like mobile homes and stuff. But he
Build
would
houses, man. Those meth heads will get
Yeah,
shit
no, he
done,
would always
dude.
hire these like crazy dudes off the
Yeah.
books, you know,
Yeah.
pay him under the table.
Yep.
The worst thing that happened to my dad is he had a business in Colorado. Oh, we got a dog on stage.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
You have something you gotta say?
Yeah, dude. Support dogs.
Oh, that's my water.
And
bitch.
so he would hire these kind of tweaker type
you need
people,
water?
and then some
Yeah, you
undocumented
can have
people.
this water if you need water.
And one time he hired a undocumented guy who was 16, and the
No way.
16-year-old guy had an accident with a chainsaw.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so my dad was like, he like fled the state, and I don't know. I think they figured it out. I think he never went to prison or anything, but you know,
Because he fled the state.
yeah,
dude.
he went to California, and he was like, yeah, not going back to Colorado for a while, but
You heard from him since?
oh yeah, man, I talk to him all the time. You know,
Nice,
like
nice.
we had a weird relationship growing up. You'll hear I have like one or two jokes about him. You know, he used to be a
Yeah.
tweaker, you know, meth guy.
Yeah, is his name Steven?
No,
or Michael
James.
Or James. Oh,
James,
nice.
hell
There we
yeah.
go, hell yeah.
You want to come up, Casey?
Yeah,
sit
come
up.
join us. Coming up
Casey
right here
Judson.
with us is Casey Judson. He's a
Have you ever seen
local
Casey
favorite.
down at Tacoma?
Yeah, a handful of times in Tacoma.
Yeah.
You need a hand, Casey? You good?
He
I first
just
saw
like a
him-
year ago, man, he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No, that's a cable. Casey's a little old. He's one of those older. No, you're good, man. Just step over it.
Not good. I could easily trip and destroy all of it.
Casey Judson. You can follow him at Case Judd at Instagram.
But you don't have to.
You've seen him on the podcast many
Actually,
times.
I'm full up on followers.
You've
so
seen him on
If you follow me, I will.
Random Hacks. You've seen him headline Tony V's in Everett.
Yeah, you saw me in 2019 at Tony B's when I
Prior to the
headlined it.
pandemic.
Yeah, you remember me.
So, talking about just Gavin here, man. Gavin, one of the funniest guys, 23 years old,
Hello.
dude.
Nice
You've
guy.
seen Gavin down in Tacoma, right?
I see him all the time. We
Yeah.
hang out all the
Dude.
time. We're good friends.
The thing
Yeah.
I love about you, man, is
don't.
that
Good.
there's this thing in Seattle especially where people are afraid to say things about, like,
you
I'm
drinking?
doing a beer sampler right
Oh,
now,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
People are afraid to say things about, like, if you're straight, don't joke about gay people. If you're white, don't joke about black people. And you, I remember the first time I saw you, you had a really good joke. And, like, gay people love the joke, man. Like, I don't need to tell your joke on this show, but it's a joke that, like, where you impersonate a
tell a
gay
really good
person,
joke.
and
Oh, you
every
meant
time
him. Oh,
they
I
love
thought
it.
you meant-
They love it, man. Like,
Sorry.
Yeah, impersonating a gay
thought it was
person.
me.
Casey's like, I've been doing that for
Yeah.
60 years, dude.
I've been, yeah.
in fact,
They're like very realistic. Very lifelike. We thought you were a fag.
I started
Can you
my
say
own
fag?
glory hole
You can't
just
say
because,
fag on
you know?
the. You can't say fag on the show. It's,
You can now at this point. We're already past 10 minutes, so
oh, no one's gonna
Yeah.
listen now.
no one's ever gonna
The
listen.
algorithm.
You ever do any other podcasts?
Yeah, just a handful here and there wherever people will have me.
Yeah.
But
Like
Yeah,
some of the
podcasts
guys
are
down
fun,
in
man.
Tacoma. You know?
yeah. What have I done? I've done one with like Willie and Fitz
Willie
and
Dean.
them.
Yeah, there we go.
By the way, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Willie might be the funniest person I've ever met in my
Dude,
life. Like,
and he's not even that much older than you, right?
yeah, he's like a year older than
Damn.
me.
Yeah,
I
these-
saw him live opening for Kurt Metzger.
Kurt Metzger.
Yeah,
insane,
he was featuring
dude.
that whole weekend, and he killed every set he did. And then
I like how his mom was there with like 8 other
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah.
And they were all drunk and they were like, well, and then Kurt
yeah.
Metzger was up and they were like, I fucking hate this guy. He's this fucking weirdo.
yeah,
They didn't like him, man.
any other situation, flip the roles.
Yeah. I was
Gonna be
like, they were like, why is
different,
this guy the headliner?
Yeah.
This bum.
There's just this crew, man. There's this crew in Tacoma that people don't know about. It's just so, it feels very underground right now. But
Which
this
is weird because
you're-
Tacoma and Seattle
yeah.
are so
I
different
know.
too.
But you're part of it, man. You're part of it. And I'll say Logan Cantrell,
Yeah. He's
so
Stephen
fucking
Ryan.
Also underground, when you mention underground,
yeah, Willie
I'm
Dean.
also close to dying,
Yeah.
speaking of underground,
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
where I'll be. Get it? Just want to
James
throw a little
Fitz,
fun
you
joke
know.
in.
Are you gonna go to hell with
10
that
minutes?
soul
All right.
patch there too?
Huh? I don't
You
even
going
know.
to hell with
How
that
long have
soul
we been
patch?
Oh
going?
yeah, the hell.
37?
I used to love going down to Tacoma.
This
I
could be
miss,
a
I
short
miss it.
podcast.
Yeah.
And then there's some pretty funny ladies down there. I saw Lynette Manning the other night.
Oh,
she's
a
hilarious,
beast.
man.
She's been moving quick. dude.
She's been
She is
killing it. I mean, like, and
out
one thing
there.
I noticed about her is that we did this thing. It was like the Edison Square. It was like a really cool venue. There just wasn't
Yeah.
a lot of people there, but she just. I just took note. I'm like, doesn't matter how many people are here. She's got the energy. She's really just trying to get people into the show and get people
Yeah.
going.
What about
Yeah,
the other
even-
day though, when you told me privately that you were gonna make all those people down there eat a dick, and you were gonna like
Yeah, oh, yeah.
take your rightful throne as the number one?
I was, you know,
You know?
they say this is the no kings. I was like, I'm gonna be the king. all
Yeah,
right? I'm
that's
gonna
the
rule.
shit.
I'm gonna rule the Iron Throne,
Yes,
baby.
yes.
You know?
And I was like, you are, yes.
Sadly, I forgot that it was No King Day, and I actually did go to a Burger King. I had the How to Train Your Dragon fiery mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Not great. All right.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
I think
Well,
Burger
it
King
seems
needs.
too good to be true.
I think Burger
the
King
king
needs
of our
a,
nation, Donald Trump, went to Burger King
Yeah.
for sure.
No,
You
he's
know
a
what I mean?
McDonald's.
Yeah,
He's a
I thought he
McDonald's
was a
guy.
No,
dude.
and I mean,
guy,
he
but-
gotta. He once in a while, you got to go to a Burger King.
A Whopper.
To mix it up, you know. How's
I
the
think
beers?
we should
How are the
replace
beers?
Donald Trump with Bruce DeTore because he does a great voice. You know, he's a nicer guy. He's got a nice dog.
Yeah.
And
You know, Bruce Totor, if he makes it like on a what do you call it, like a HBO special, and he's like
Oh,
famous, you'll go up to him and go, "How you doing, Bruce?" They go, "Yeah, it's just kind of a bummer, you know. It's like it fucking sucks, you know. Like they didn't even know my name in the thing, and
Yeah.
then
Dude was on Kill Tony.
My car, my Rolls Royce, kind of like didn't start that good this morning, and
I
Yeah,
think,
all this fame and still nobody's gonna fuck me. So.
Oh yeah,
I
exactly.
think, yeah,
and I
let's
got fucked 19 times this week.
Let's start a
It's like none of them
GoFundMe.
really love me or.
a GoFundMe. We're gonna send Bruce
not
to
gonna
the
bring my
Bunny
parents
Ranch in Reno, in Carson City, Nevada. We're gonna send Bruce Couture to the Bunny Ranch.
Even
And-
then, he won't be able to get
Yeah.
laid. No, just kidding. No, you'll
No,
get
we're
laid. You'll get
gonna
laid.
start a GoFundMe. You know, it's gonna be paid for by
Yeah.
all of our fans,
The
all of our comedy
the
simp
Moonlight
people.
Bunny Ranch. Yeah. I was in driving through and I went by one of them and I was like, oh yeah, there it is, the big
Man,
brothel.
I don't
you
know, man. I would be. I've never visited a prostitute, but I just feel like I would be scared, man. I'm
yeah.
scared of pimps, man, because pimps have guns.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've heard so many stories of guys getting ripped off, and like I barely have enough money to scrape by, and if I was to spend all my extra money on a prostitute, and then it was to get like ripped off, I would be extremely disappointed.
I also
in myself.
I'm also like I'm
You ever
like
been
I
with
would
one
like
before?
to be I would like to be gay to fit in because you know
Yeah.
it's good to be gay now. Being straight is bad, but I can't. I'm so ungay that if a pimp like is giving me one of his girls, I'll be like, he's already. I'm like going
Right.
through some guy. It's a gross guy to get. I don't want a guy to have anything to do with it. Like get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here. You know, like he's
Yeah,
like
but-
he
okay,
owns
but-
her.
But right, you go to a restaurant and you ask the server if they have any recommendations, right?
Yeah.
This guy knows the menu.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, I think you just have a lot of shit that you got to let go of, Casey.
Yeah, that's yes. Yeah, anything like decency and all those things. You gotta get rid of them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
That's the nowadays. They're like, you're repressed. You gotta.
Yeah.
You need to start eating ass.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about decency. I think if you first meet a hooker, I think you should bring like a gift of some sort to
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
some cash.
her. Yeah, some cash.
I brought some.
Red
Like
Robin
maybe write a
gift
nice
card?
card.
You know?
Yeah, a card
A
with
Red
it.
Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really miss the what was it, the two, what was it, the 2 for 2 or whatever, where you can pick two sides. They don't even do that anymore.
I like the gift for a hooker.
Red Robin.
I like the gift for a hooker.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're cruising in the in the shitty area, and it's like all slimy and gross. And some disgusting whore gets in your car and you go, here, I got you some flowers.
Yeah.
Nice
I
bouquet of
can't
roses.
remember
It'd be
who-
touching. She'd be like, Jesus.
I can't remember who has the joke. Somebody has a joke about like they don't like the words sex worker. They like prostitute. Prostitute sounds like it's more official.
More like
Yeah,
what it
Adam
more like what
Carolla
it
has a
actually
joke
is.
about
Is that Adam Carolla? I feel like somebody local had something
Oh,
like
yeah?
that too, man. Like,
Well, I just heard Adam Carolla the other weekend. He was like, sex worker, that's
was
like...
he over at the club?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, if you're on the clock, you're on the clock.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just like,
Yeah.
union workers, shuffling them in. I don't know. I butchered the shit. But it was
How you get
funny.
to talk to him, or are you just hearing his stuff?
I'm just regurgitating what I heard, but
That's
yeah.
still he's awesome. I wish I would have went.
Yeah, no, dude.
Yeah,
he's-
you should. I
he's
wish
good.
you went too. It would have been fun.
Yeah, he's great. I love his show and everything.
So, you remember your first open mic?
First open mic, yeah, it was hosted by, I forget his name. I don't see him that often anymore, but it's this gay dude with a mustache. He's really cool.
Richie?
No.
Richie Armani? No.
gay
that's a good
dude
guess.
with a
Yes, he is gay and he has a mustache.
And he wears glasses. And
Freddie Mercury.
yeah.
He's dead. He never wore glasses. Did he wear
I
glasses?
don't know,
Maybe.
probably not. But he had a mustache.
I saw the movie.
He did have a
didn't
little
He probably wore
mustache.
glasses when he was like signing checks, but you
You know,
know.
the littler the mustache, the more gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
Hitler,
I
I
heard,
guess.
yeah.
Well,
I guess
see,
Hitler
what's
was
his
kinda-
name? Who did
You look like a Hitler just if he missed
Pink
the wrong.
Flamingos?
this one?
What's his name?
Huh?
Pink Flamingos.
Oh, yeah, John-
What's his name? Is it
uh,
John? I don't know.
Yeah, John.
The
I was
director.
gonna say John Hughes, but it's not John Hughes.
Waters. John
Waters. Yeah.
He has the tiniest fucking
Yeah,
mustache, man.
Yeah.
That man is a gay man for
He's
sure.
very gay, yeah,
Very,
very
proud.
gay.
You know, we love the gays on the Comedy Simp. You know, we're fans of them. You know,
Yeah.
I never understood the homophobia as a kid because I was always like, more ladies for me, right?
Oh,
I
true.
don't know.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you get pounded by a big black
Yeah.
dude, and you're like,
Yeah. Then you're like,
All right,
that
this
my
feels-
asshole. hurts
Whatever
now.
you can do to get forward in this scene, that's all that matters.
yeah.
No, it's not. It's better. No. It's
So
better not to.
who do you think are some of your best friends in comedy?
Best friends in comedy.
Some of the people you could talk to, if you go to an open mic and you see them, you're excited to see them.
Yeah. I love Seth Fairchild. He's the boy.
Dude, great guy.
He's so young.
Boy.
Who's that
And
little
he's-
guy?
He's like 19 or
He
20.
has a lot of like piercings and
Yeah.
longer hair, middle part.
He has
Okay.
a black
Little
girlfriend, so
mustache.
shout out. Good
Oh,
job.
nice.
He's
Black
the boy.
girlfriend.
Ezra Bonillas. I don't know if you've met Ezra.
I've
but
never
he's
met him. I'm
fucking
friends with him on
hilarious.
Facebook, but I've never met him.
Yeah. He's super fucking funny. A really creative dude. He always just has. He has the craziest life. Like, so I just always, whenever I see him on stage, I just want to hear more. He's super nice. Lonnie Williams is the boy too.
Lonnie, oh my God, that guy. I went to 3 or 4 of those back booth bully shows.
yeah?
That guy will do anything for a laugh, anything for his friends. I've seen him get shocked in the taint. With
still doing those?
I think they're still doing them. I haven't been to one in a while.
Why
June
not?
30th is their very last one, and I'll be on the panel with them. So
All right, June
helping them host
30th.
it.
Come see Gavin at Tacoma Comedy Club, June 30th.
It's
Back
a
booth
Monday,
bullies, yeah.
last Monday of this month.
This
at
should be on the
Downtown
radio
Club.
because we should be able to tell people, come on down here right now. Like, doesn't
Yeah.
it feel like you should?
I know, right?
Like,
Yeah.
it feels wrong that we can't go. Everyone, come down to the Peace of Mind Brewery in Lynnwood. And now it's like weeks later. They're gonna be, what I mean? Doesn't feel right.
It doesn't
You should,
feel
you
right
should be
at all.
on there. I'm gonna go down there and just say, hey, you need to get this guy on. It's like the comedy, the What's Happening in Comedy Today show or
The
whatever.
What's Happening in Comedy show.
Yeah, like now, like this today, like instantaneously. Anyway, sorry for you just brought me on to ruin the podcast.
Yeah, no, dude.
You're bringing some good vibes, man. I love it.
No, it's Casey. It's good to have you on here, man. Because
Yeah.
there's protests going on everywhere.
Yeah, protests.
No freeways have been shut down yet. I don't know, man. We're on the verge of World War III. We got countries shooting each other, and this
Yeah.
is people need comedy more than ever right now, man. They
Yeah.
need to have a good time. They need to laugh, have fun. What do you think is different? How do you feel about comedy now versus when you started? Have things changed, like a little bit?
So I started in 2023.
Same with me.
And yeah, I
Pretty
don't
much.
think much has really changed. Just
Like your view, your attitude towards it. Did things change?
oh, yeah. I mean, you just learn as you go.
Uh-huh.
You know, so like I feel like, yeah, back then I didn't know anything, and now I feel like I have a couple different like attitudes about things. Like things don't go the way I want them to. At least I can like, look back on it and gain something from it, even if, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think like in general like people's views on things have really changed. Like everybody always just wants to have a good time, and if you're like, oh, times are changing, let me talk about whatever bad shit's going on, then I don't know, I think you're barking up the wrong tree, You
Yeah.
should just be trying to be funny in just the simplest of ways,
Well, dude, I think, what you've done is incredibly impressive in 2 years. I mean,
man.
I'm sure it gets boring. People keep saying, oh, your age and stuff like that. But honestly, I mean, like, a lot of us when we were that age, we just didn't know it took me a long time to figure out really, like, what made me happy and what I wanted to do with my life. And
Yeah.
I used to play in a band and stuff. And, when I was 23, it was like music and that was everything. And,
So you
What did
guys
you
were
play?
for fascism, is what you're saying.
yeah, absolutely.
You're a fascist.
Is this the Comedy Fascist Podcast?
Yeah.
That probably exists somewhere.
So by not opposing it, you're clearly for it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be one of those activists.
Yeah.
Yeah, silence
you have
is
to
violence.
You have to be
Yeah.
involved in the thing.
Silence
And I go,
is
actually,
violence.
you go, I'm not for it.
Yeah.
I'm not for the thing.
Well, and you see in Seattle, people will make like a gay joke or trans joke,
Yeah.
but first they like have to preface it. Like they
Yeah.
give a small speech. They give a disclaimer before they tell their
I
joke.
think I'm going to have to do a disclaimer tonight before my set. That's
Oh,
for
you're
sure.
gonna do a bunch of tranny
Yeah.
jokes? transsexual joke.
Well, all my jokes are right there. It's on that.
You know, I was working at this Amazon place, and there was this transsexual lady, like a pretty lady, but it was a man 3 weeks ago. You know, like however you phrase it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there you go.
Nick Cody over here with his mic. I love this.
Hey, all right.
Oh, we got Corey Hill. Oh my God, number one
Hey,
fan.
what's up?
Friend of the show. Friend of
He looks different.
Whiskey Mile.
He looks different.
Maybe he's on drugs.
Oh,
He could
maybe.
be. He might have cerebral palsy.
Cincinnati
I don't
Red.
know.
He's got something.
got his
and I'll
music.
have what he's
He's a,
having,
yeah,
dude.
he's a good
He
guy.
looks
He's
happy.
touched by the downs.
He's a good boy. You know?
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
No, he's
Dude,
good at guitar, though.
I feel like we're gonna have a good show, guys.
I feel like
we're
what's
good.
that on
Yeah.
there, anyways? Is that a
What?
bunch of jokes?
Yeah, that's my set.
Oh, that's your set.
That's a set
Yeah, I
list.
write all my set out like a
And you do like
maniac.
you perform it like a concerto?
Not
Da-da-da-da.
necessarily. It's
He had his wife write it out, and
No,
he
no,
has
no.
dyslexia,
No,
so
she-
he's gonna have a bad time.
she definitely didn't write it out. No,
That's
but
awesome.
I color coded. I have I have most of it memorized, but it's just so if I lose my place, I can just I typically don't do a lot of 10-minute sets because I'm still at the open mic level. You know, the open mic.
you
level,
gotta
if
get-
if anybody wants to book me,
I have actual visual evidence on YouTube of me doing like great in front of huge crowds.
Yeah.
And now I don't think I don't know. It's I feel, but it's later in the show. I can't possibly ruin it that badly.
Right,
yeah.
I mean, as
Because you're
long
gonna
as
be in bed.
as long as I don't make them leave before your set, like just please bang them.
Even if they do, as long as I just have you guys in
Yeah.
the crowd. If you
Oh,
leave
oh, wow.
right after your set,
like a
and have to
coward.
go,
Yeah.
Yeah. then I'm gonna be sad. But
Oh, that's nice.
Well, I don't know.
That's nice.
here's
man.
the thing, right?
Appreciate
is
that.
the size of the crowd doesn't matter. It's if they're engaged, if they're watching,
dude,
if they're
this is
laughing.
gonna be good. I could tell.
But I mean, more people.
We got a
is
nice-
more
We got
fun
people-
when it hits.
We
It
got
feels
people
good.
that just came in here for beer, and
That's
they're gonna
true.
get comedy.
There's also a lot of children,
Yeah, I know.
which
That's-
I'm like,
Good thing I don't have any pedo jokes.
Yeah, I think.
yeah, like what's the deal with all that cock out there? Or, you know, and they're like, what?
51 minutes.
My 4-year-old's here.
You want me to close it out?
Or we have to get out of here.
You want me to end it? All right, Nick Cody wants me to end this
Wrap
show.
it up.
Hey,
He's gonna
thanks
wrap
again
it
for
up.
having
Before
us,
we
man.
before we finish it out, man, Gavin, Guy, people want to see you. You're still. Is it all right? You work at Tacoma Comedy Club, 6th Avenue, right? They want to
Yeah.
come give you
Come
tip
through
you.
to the open
make sure
mics,
make sure they
tip
tip
us.
you well. You're
Check
gonna
out the website.
You're at the open mics.
TacomaComedyClub.com website.
Any shows
Go
coming up
catch
you want to
them.
promote? Anything big? This will come out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, end of June here, we're doing the Taste of the Pacific Northwest. I'll be emceeing
Ain't even fucking talk
throughout.
to me.
It's,
Nice. Where's that at?
It's going to be in the Puyallup Fairgrounds. Come
Hell
check that
yeah,
out.
dude. Nice.
And then
I might as well talk to you guys directly at this
yeah,
point.
just,
you know, so fuck. You know?
August 5th, I want to say, I'll be headlining Ha Ha Tuesdays.
With Bo Blast.
Yep. I'll
6th
be doing
Avenue.
a half-hour set. Come check that out. I couldn't be more excited. And
All right.
yeah, I think we are out.
And Casey, any shows coming up? Anything you want to
I'm
promote?
just gonna go to Gavin Howells shows mostly. I'm
Yeah.
gonna start maybe
Yeah.
like a super
We have a
fan.
roast
Casey,
coming
you-
up July 12th.
you-
at
Oh,
Andy
Yeah, you
Harder's.
coming to that?
That should be fun. But I think
Hey, everybody
we gotta
show
wrap
up at
this
Andy
'cause we
Harder's
start,
house.
so.
Andy
On
Harder's
July
house.
12th.
He
didn't
lives
tell me.
on, and then we
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
say
he's
his
on
address.
Sunset
Yeah.
Ave on by the freeway in Renton. Yeah,
And
you'll
if you,
find
and
it.
if you guys want to see me, I'll be at the. It's at the pig. It's called like the pig roast or some
Okay.
some competition. It's at the Georgian Dragon,
Yeah.
June 28th, Saturday, 2 weeks from now. Keon Larry is one of the hosts, and it's gonna be fun. And then Tacoma Comedy Club, August 23rd. I'm gonna be
Oh, okay.
featuring for Cat C. 4 o'clock show on a Saturday. Amazing.
Oh, wow, okay.
Shout out to Keegan for
Wow.
giving me that.
I don't have any.
Follow
I don't have any
everybody.
shows
You're doing
coming up.
20 minutes?
No, I'm not.
In
No,
fact,
I don't-
if you-
I have
if
no
you-
idea how many minutes I'm gonna do.
Is this
but,
on the Simp? This is coming out on the Simp?
This
the
is
show?
on Comedy Simp.
Okay,
yeah.
so contact Comedy Simp if you want to book me. If you're impressed by this, my
Yeah, yeah.
desperation.
All right,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
All right, have we had a good time, people? Have we had a good time or what? Guys, I have a special treat. Everybody in the bar, a special treat right now. Through the power of technology, we have a special person on the line through the PA system. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the 47th President, Donald Trump.
It's so great to be on the phone with you. I can't believe I'm talking to the people at the Whiskey Mile. What a great place to go.
Now, Mr. President, I know we only have a few minutes with you. I just have a few questions. One, what's going on? Is there truth to things with you and Elon not so good?
Elon. Elon is a great guy. He's a great guy. And a lot of money. Saved a lot of money with Doge. I'm the Doge guy. But right now, listen, I like Elon. He's a good guy. I don't like some of the things he's saying. And I think he's just doing it so people will stop lighting Teslas on fire. They're lighting them on fire.
Well, he said that you were on Epstein Island. Is there any truth to that, Mr. President?
There are a lot of islands in the big, beautiful ocean that I can't tell you. So many islands. They say, have you been on an island? There's so many islands. You won't believe how many islands there are.
Well, I appreciate you giving us the time, Mr. President. I have one more thing to ask before we go. Any plans for Father's Day?
Father's Day is coming. It's a beautiful day for people in this great country. I'm going to Qatar. They're sending me a plane. I'm going to fly to Qatar. It's a beautiful day. The people, they love me in Qatar. It's a nice plane. It's a big, beautiful plane.
Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to the country of Qatar. Good night.
Comedy Simp, the podcast you can't resist. Stephen Michael James, the host you won't wanna miss. From Seattle to the world, his humor will persist. Join the fun, get ready to enlist. Spitting fire.